My name is Ruby, and I started doing what are classified as club drugs at the age of 16. I was educated on all of this stuff, but I wish I had listened to everyone who told me not to do them. So as I said, I was educated on this sort of stuff, but I dropped out of school to help the family in really bad times. I dropped out at 10th grade. It is said that about 3.20 to 4.90% of LSD is used by high schoolers and 1.4% of ketamine. I used to use ketamine and LSD. I snorted and sniffed ketamine to get high, and LSD was this paper-like thing you put in your mouth to get high. I got into it when I went to a nightclub for my birthday. Some friends wanted me to go along. Someone, my friend's friend, came to me and said, "Hey, want some?" It was in a bag and it looked like powder, which I didn't know at the time was LSD. It was all colorful and looked so harmless. For $55, what do you think? And I was like, what? And he was like, this will make you feel really, really good. You know what? Free. Just for today, okay? He put it in my hand and ran quickly outside. And what he gave me back then was ketamine and LSD. So when you try the first time, you feel really good, but afterwards you don't. So you try to chase after that feeling. I started to lose sight and some of my sound too. After 6 years of using LSD and ketamine and 3 years in jail, it does change your life.
14. Yeah, 14. When I started using club drugs. I use different types of them. Hi, my name is Lucy. Always went to nightclubs. Had a few pills here and there. I used to be average at school, trying to keep up with my drugs in school. It didn't work. You know, the first moment you feel great, but then you would always be trying to chase that feeling. But after 4 years, well, at the time I felt dizzy, confused, my vision was blurry, and I had short-term amnesia. Most club drugs are abused by teens like me. About 81% of teens use club drugs. I smoked most of my drugs, or I baked them into cupcakes or brownies. Most of my drugs I had looked like white powder or pills with stars on them, and paper stuff that you put on your tongue. I got help, but it all changed me. And after, I had to pay a fine about $1,000 plus 1 year in jail. I'm still trying to pay it because I can't really find a job with my record.
I was 13 when I tried club drugs. I just did it because I wanted to try it. I was like, I'll try some of this, just this once, to see how it tastes like. How hard could it be? I was so wrong. First, I started off with club drugs. And to get some club drugs, I needed to go to the nightclub with $37 in my pocket. And I asked a friend for $20. And I said I'll pay him back. But I never did. So when I was in high school, I got into GHB. That was the most common club drug I used. I would always sniff it or drink it, but like just after weeks of using GHB, I would get headaches or I would vomit. It's said that 0.7% of people would just use GHB. Over the age of 14, I was just one of those victims. Didn't go to jail, but when I was 15 and still living with my parents, they had to pay a fine of $1,000-ish. I was no longer able to live with my parents. I got sent away of doing drugs, and now maybe I'll be heading back with them. Sent away of doing drugs, and now maybe I'll be heading back with them.
Guys! 6 plus 6. That's 3.
Hello.
Okay.
Oh my God.
My name is Ruby, and I started doing what are classified as club drugs at the age of 16. I was educated on all of this stuff, but I wish I had listened to everyone. this sort of stuff, but I dropped out of school to help the family in really bad times. I dropped out at 10th grade. It is said that about 3.20 to 4.90% of LSD is used by high schoolers and 1.4% of ketamine.
I make weird faces, guys.
Okay. I used to use ketamine and LSD. I snorted and sniffed ketamine to get high, and LSD was this paper-like thing you put in your mouth to get high. I got into it when I went to a nightclub for my birthday. Some friends wanted me to go along. Someone, my friend's friend, came to me and said, "Hey, want some?" It was in a bag and it looked like powder, which I didn't know at the time was LSD. It was all colorful and looked so harmless. For $55, what do you think? And I was like, what? And he was like, this will make you feel really, really good. You know what? Free. Just for today, okay? He put it in my hand and ran quickly outside. And what he gave me back then was ketamine and LSD.
Good job!
Be careful!
I'm sorry. I got scared. The lights turned off by themselves.
You're not recording.
It scared me.
We don't have much time.
It freaking scared
We
me.
don't have much time. But that one.
Okay. I like the lights.
Okay.
Okay, so this is part 1.
So when you try the first time, you feel really good, but afterwards you don't. So you try to chase after that feeling. I started to lose sight and some of my sound too. After 6 years of using LSD and ketamine and 3 years in jail, it does change your life.
She's so good. Right?
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, we're bye.